Electronic Arts is getting weird, okay? Let's read this, because they've done two things that are actually kind of sussy baka, and we should talk about it. So, EA is looking to put in-game ads into AAA games. We'll be very thoughtful as we move into that, says CEO. Advertising has an opportunity to be a meaningful driver for growth for us. I don't think this is necessarily bad, but it really depends on what you do. Video games and ads not necessarily been great. So let's go through. Let's see. EA CEO Andrew Wilson confirmed the company is considering putting ads in traditional AAA games. Titles that players purchase upfront for around $70 a piece. In Q&A, a part of EA's latest earning calls, Eric Sheridan from Goldman Sachs asked Wilson about dynamic ad insertion in AAA games. Wilson said, advertising has an opportunity to be a meaningful driver of growth for us. He then continued, we have teams internally in the company right now looking at how we do very thoughtful implementations inside of our game experiences. What is with corporate people not being able to talk proper English? You know? What happened to just, yo, are you putting in ads? Yeah, we're thinking about it. What? Why do we gotta say things in the most corporate way possible? It's the most infuriating thing ever. Especially if you work, like, look, this is coming from senior software developer. I've been in the game for a bit. 10 years. At big tech companies, small tech companies, I've been all over. I've worked in corporate environments constantly. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. With this weird way of talking. God, I hate it so much. Let's keep reading. In-game ads are a natural progression of advertising, especially as gaming industry is expected to grow 583 billion by 2030. Some players deem this as a distraction, but others accept it as a fact of life as long as ads are placed naturally and unobtrusively, not going loudly in your face, blocking in-game content, or interrupting your gameplay just to tell you that you should buy this product or subscribe to this service. Again, yeah, so this is just going on to say that they're going to do it. Man, it's got to be nice to be a video game journalist, right? You just might one quote and you make a whole article like this. God, that is very frustrating. Look, here's the thing. Ads are not bad. This is entirely how YouTube works, TikTok works, like social media. That's how it works, okay? People derive a lot of value. Whether they hate it or love it, people are on social media and they're getting, like, look, we're streaming right now. Twitch wants to show ads. I don't know how it works for people who are not partners. I'm not a partner. We're just vibing. But they want to recoup because it costs money to go ahead and do things like this. Same thing with YouTube. They got to host it. There's a lot that they do there. Like, it's free, but it comes with a cost. They got to make their money back. At the end of the day, you don't want these businesses to go bankrupt. So ads is one powerful way of how they do this. And that's the reason why I would say YouTube is extremely powerful, because the way that they've built their ad business with content creators is very good, in that the ads are just somewhere else and the content creators are over here. They focus on creative, and then the ads are just dynamically linked based off of what you're talking about. Okay, so if I'm making, which I am, obviously, gaming content on the main YouTube channel or Camera Guys content on the Goose Morning TV channel, the ads are not going to be like about cars, because chances are gamers are not going to buy, a brand new Chevrolet Ford F-150. Probably not. Maybe. Probably not. But they might be about, like health-related stuff, like food-related stuff. They might be about snacks, Doritos, not to jump into the stereotype there, but you know what I mean? Like, what people would be willing to buy for that target audience. Things like tech, maybe different phones, maybe keyboards, mice, stuff like that. So ads are insanely useful, but it really depends on how the gaming industry does it. And the thing is, there are ads in movies on TV. You know what I mean? Like, there are spots where movies are swapped to ads on TV. It makes sense there. But on the big screen, there's no ads. So to me, the same thing should be the exact same thing with the big AAA games. When I pay what is over $100 after taxes in Canada for a brand new video game, which is insane. But when I pay that, brother, do not give me an ad. Do not even think about it unless it adds something to the experience. Like if Joel and Ellie in Last of Us find a case of Coca-Cola and they're like, oh, I haven't seen this in about like 25 years. Love me some Coca-Cola. I can somewhat understand how that makes sense. Okay? They're in a post-apocalyptic world and find Coca-Cola, it makes sense. In a world where it's just like I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima and he, There's like Coca-Cola billboard ads. I'm taken out of the experience. Doesn't make a lot of sense. However, I made an entire video about this on the main channel. I'm a big believer in the same way that we said the big box office videos, right? So like when I go to see Oppenheimer at the theater, there's no ads except for the start, right? Because that's the theater making ads. Okay, so you got the trailers. So, but during the entire thing, there's none. But when it goes on TV, it's in syndication, and the ads start flying there, okay? That makes sense because the user is getting the, not necessarily free, but they didn't seek it out. So it's like, oh, I'm here and I get this ad. I made a video on the main channel that was essentially saying with cloud gaming, the way cloud gaming works is essentially it's all video based, right? You send in inputs that go to the cloud, and the cloud goes ahead and plays the game on its servers and then sends you video frames back. So it's like a single frame. And if you don't know what a frame is, just think about like a picture book, right? You know, in a picture book, you draw like a bunch of little stickmen and you flip through the picture book. Each page would be a frame. And that's how video is. It's just a series of pictures. What you're seeing right now is a series of pictures being sent to you really, really fast. 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, 24 frames per second, and that creates your video. So here it's probably 30 frames from what I remember me setting it up to, right? So with that being said, Cloud could completely figure out when your game is loading because it doesn't matter if the game is running in Cloud, it's still limited by the machine that it was built for. So the game that runs in the Cloud is still going to have loading, and Cloud can detect that when it sends the video frame back. It's very easy to do from a software perspective, okay? At this point, I never understood, and this is what I argued in my video on my YouTube channel. This is an old video, it's sometime last year. I was saying, make cloud gaming completely free, because it's a worse experience, okay? And the idea is, let me play any game on cloud gaming, and every time there's a load, swap to ads. It's the same way YouTube does. You watch a video, all of a sudden you're watching the video, you're really into it, and then at some point, because you didn't pay for YouTube Premium, the video is free to you, you just get given some ad. It's like a win-win for everybody. Win-win-win-win-win-win. The game gets more exposure, cloud gaming gets better used, the user gets free games, and there's ad revenue. It makes total sense. But if I go to buy the game, don't give me any ads. That makes sense. However, this is EA. I don't think that's what they're going to do. Let me quickly read your chats, and thank you, PJ283, IFs with the follow, Matt Patton25 with the follow, and Narpy with the follow. You're beautiful. You're goose-tastic. We love to have you here. Thank you guys so much. We are killing it today on the follows. I'll read your chats, and we'll just swap to the next part of the EA madness that is going on, because it's a two-parter here. There's ads, and then they're talking about AI, so let's touch on that in a sec. Okay, so recycled foot lotion YouTube sounds like 2K. If it's skippable, sure, but if I pay full price for the game, don't put in ads. 1,000%. At the end of the day, man, like if we're paying over $100 Canadians for a full-price game and you're going to throw ads on top, brother, have some sympathy. Have some, like, man, I swear, if that happens, which we know it will, right? Like, we know it's gonna. But, like, I want this video game industry to be disrupted because, and that's why I'm talking about earlier with Animal Well of like these small creators that are growing with their YouTube. I'm telling you, man, video game industry will be disrupted, and they're gonna look back and be like, what happened? Why is Halo not selling anymore? Why is Gears of War not selling anymore? Why is all this stuff not selling anymore? It's like, well, you kept messing with us for years. We just decided to make our own. I honestly think that'll be a bigger deal than we think. Punch Sploder, maybe an unpopular opinion, but when Burnout Paradise first came out, I actually liked the fact that billboards of Paradise City had ads for real companies, made the world feel real, immersive. 1,000% agree. And you see, that is an ad where it makes sense. It's a real city, or fictional Paradise City, and that works. You don't feel unimmersed. I would say that seems fine. And at the end of the day, we understand these things are expensive. We already talked about Spider-Man 2 being $300 million to make. Genshin Impact, which is insane. Again, Genshin Impact, $700 million to make. The most expensive game ever made. It's literally mind-blowing. Also insanely profitable, like $2 billion a year, I think. What's going on, my fellow weebs? Actually, we're in a different weeb bracket if you're playing Genshin Impact. Fellow anime watcher. Occasional anime watcher, but that's a different weeb bracket, okay? I didn't make the cut. JJR Withers, also not the cloud gaming Game Pass would be super easy way to have ads be okay. 1,000%. I made this video, and the problem is I think it's a good video. Obviously, I'm biased. Let me just grab it here. I'll show you guys. I won't play it, but it was this one. Loading screens are about to change gaming forever. I was trying to make it so it's because the thing is gamers don't like ads, but I think it's a valuable topic. So I couldn't think of a way to sell the idea so that I could get some views. Most of the about to change gaming forevers did not do super well for me. So maybe we'll do those again later. I don't know. They're hard, man, because the futurist ideas that I have are just very difficult to pitch. Anyways, if you're interested in the concept, I made a full video about it where I break down how it makes total sense and is win-win-win-win for everyone. And I think that's what JJR_Withers is bringing up too. It'll be a way bigger deal than you think. Way bigger deal than you think. But unfortunately, no one's doing it, which is like really, really shocking. I would have thought that, I honestly would have thought Microsoft would have done cloud gaming for free with ad insertions. To me, it makes total sense. And they have the AI backend with their partnerships with OpenAI to detect the frames of what is a loading screen. I don't get it. Like, just think about this. You're playing Skyrim. You know the loads. They're long. Okay, don't lie. You're playing Grand Theft Auto's insane long loading. Okay, Red Dead Redemption. Whatever. On cloud, you're playing it completely free. You just went on, you opened your Xbox, you went, oh, Red Dead Redemption, play. It loads up the cloud, you start playing, boom. Every time you get a load, boom. Hey, would you like to buy this F-150? I go, whatever, I'm just going to ignore this and keep playing. But it's still a win-win-win for everybody. JJR Withers says there would be a backlash, but I'm sure people could adapt to having very cheap gaming service. That's the thing. Gamers don't like ads, and I agree. And that's only because, let me say this. The reason gamers don't like ads, because they actually don't care when you go on YouTube or Twitch, like they see the ads. The reason they don't like ads in gaming is because these gaming companies like EA do not have a great track record. That's why. It's not great. Shaw brings up an excellent point, though. With newer SSDs, shorter loading times would get rid of the ad time. Yeah, at that point, you'd have to pick, like, ad insertions of just, like, hey, every hour. Anyways, let's go on to the next part of EA's insanity, which is the studio hunger to start using generative AI as quickly as possible, says CEO. And again, because of the reputation of EA, this is scary to me. From 1 to 10, are you guys excited for AI in gaming? Okay? And for a bonus, let me know in the chat, 1 to 10, excited for AI in gaming. And for a bonus, Dirty Dan already. For a bonus, let me know what you think AI would be good for in gaming. If you have any idea, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Because I have some thoughts, but of course, greatest gaming community, I want to discuss with you guys. So EA says they want to speed everything up to entertain more people around the world on a global basis at a faster rate. And I'll be reacting to this again coming from a senior software developer background, okay? I have 10 years of developer experience, so I'm going to be giving you my understanding from that mindset for AI, okay? And also from YouTube, I do lots of graphic design stuff, so I also have that in my back pocket. So we'll go through this. A month ago, we reported that EA CEO Andrew Wilson is chomping? Isn't it chomping? Chomping at the bit to increase the efficiency of EA studios using generative AI tools, and he returned to the topic this week on a call with investors saying that EA's developers themselves have a hunger to put AI work on their projects. I would actually agree with this. There's a lot of developers in the tech space. Okay, this is coming again from my own, let me zoom this up a bit. Coming from my own experience, there's a lot of developers that are like dog with a bone syndrome, meaning they just are constantly losing focus and want to just build something fresh. Like AI is hot right now, so a lot of developers just want to jump on AI because, and this is mostly because of like the way the corporate environment works with the love that developers have for their work. They want to create something new and special, and they want to be recognized in the corporate world, which historically is not great at recognizing. So by doing something clutch, you know, making the first AI thing that saves a lot of money, it's both really rewarding from like a technical perspective. A developer will go like, look what I did. I did this thing that was thought to be impossible. And then from a corporate perspective, they get the reward and thus recognition and thus hopefully a pay increase for what they've done to help the business. So that I would actually agree that most developers from a tech perspective, I would say do care about trying to use AI. They want to make things better. Because if they make things better for the business, then they get a better promotion. Like in a like a normal world, it's beneficial for everybody, and they'll be rewarded for it. If you save a company $1 million a year through some of your tools that you've done in AI, the company's gonna reward you. They'll give you like a piece. Hey, we got a promotion for you, blah, blah, blah. We've done analysis across all our development processes, and right now, based on our early assessment, we believe that more than 50% of our development processes will be positively impacted by the advances in generative AI, said Wilson in response to the question about technology. And we've got teams across the company really looking to execute against that. Wilson thinks that with 40 years worth of proprietary data to feed into generative AI models in some unspecified way, little shot there, EA will increase efficiency over the next 3 years, and within 5 years or sooner, take things further by using AI and those efficiency gains to build bigger worlds with more characters and more interesting storylines. Bigger worlds with more characters and more interesting storylines due to AI. This last one, sus on. I would tell you there's a real hunger among our developers to get this as quick as possible. No. Developers don't like to do things quickly. They like to do things right. Because the one thing that a lot of you guys don't understand in the development scene, okay, there's building, right? Building an app, building a game, building blah, 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 blah. There's building, that's part one. But the most important part of development, by far, for both the business, the developer, everyone, is maintenance. Maintenance is huge. So the reason Microsoft is so big is because they have this insane legacy stuff that they've been maintaining for years. Huge. Windows is like super old. The things that Windows supports, the backwards compatibility for Windows and forward compatibility, is insane. That's because of the hard work they put into maintaining it. And so you want to build things a specific way to make it so maintenance is as easy as possible. As easy as possible. But here's the catch. Developers know this 90% of the time. Managers know this 10% of the time. Managers are so brain dead when it comes to maintenance. They want stuff rushed as fast as possible. You'll get it out the door. You'll get all the accolades. But then you got to support that nightmare of a thing that you rushed for like 5-10 years. It's going to be rebuilt 200 times. You're going to have new employees coming in and out. So it's going to be impossible to work with. This is how you get what people call like spaghetti code. This is how you get that. So I do no. Developers don't want to do it as quickly as possible. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Because again, the holy grail for us is to build bigger, more innovative, more creative, more fun games more quickly so that we can entertain more people around the world on a global basis, faster rate. Again, AI is going to remove jobs. It's just a fact. It will remove jobs because it's going to do things faster. But only if you understand how AI works. Like the power of AI is not just like a supercomputer. That's not what AI is. The power of AI, okay, and I've said this before on stream, we'll go through it again. AI is synonymous with pattern recognition. That's all it is. It's pattern recognition at scale. I throw patterns in, and then it finds the patterns, and it helps you solve things based off those patterns, right? If I train it on a bunch of pictures of cats, it will see that like, hey, the ear shape is this angle, the fur size is this long, the coloring would only be these set of colors, the eyes would look like this, they would be this size, this, all these things. The teeth would be pointy, all of these things. These patterns come together, make a bunch of numbers. These numbers equal cat. I show you a picture of a dog, it goes, no, it doesn't fit the pattern. It's not a cat. Okay? So for AI in game development, the only win for AI in game development is pattern recognition. Where would you find patterns? Storytelling? Where are you going to find the patterns in storytelling? Where? I'll wait, Mr. Andrew Wilson. Where are you going to find it? You're not. There's where? Like, you don't even have enough stories. You're going to pull from the Need for Speeds, the 20 Need for Speeds, to be like, how do we make the best Need for Speed story based off these stories? And also, like, what is a good story? How are you pulling from those patterns? What's considered good? So all of that stuff, you need proper data for it. Now, where patterns make a lot of sense is, like, the easiest one is concept arts. You can basically gush out a bunch of different concepts as fast as humanly possible. Just any idea that any human can come up with, not just artists. any human can come up with. It can make 1 billion of those. But you still need a professional artist to basically take that and build upon it. So you can use AI to basically come up with a bunch of concepts, pick the one that you like, right, as fast as possible, speedline that process, and then you say, artist, this is the style we like. The AI got like 80% of the way. Can you take this to the max? It's basically you speedline the set of instructions given to an artist. For development, bro, managers been trying to push that in. I haven't seen like a huge benefit. I haven't. Not yet. If anything, I'd say just like the programming in general, but I don't know. And him saying 3 to 5 years, again, just tells me he doesn't understand what AI is. AI is not like a 3 to 5 year. Think about where ChatGPT was last year and where it is today. We have like Sora and DALL-E and Midjourney. Andrew Wilson, I don't think you understand AI, sir. By the way, Cassius237 with the follow. Thank you so much. You're a beautiful Goose-tastic person. We'd love to have you here. To finish up on this topic, I'll say EA jumping into ads and AI, it sounds exactly like what you think it sounds. It sounds like a nightmare, and it sounds like they have no idea what they're talking about based off of reading their quotes. It sounds like shareholders are saying, are you using these new hot terms? And their response is yes.